Hi guys, welcome to session 25 of Marketing 102. My name is Yankit Khan, and in this video of marketing, we are going to discuss a new topic, which is the elements of the promotional mix. In our previous session, we started with the introduction of promotional mix, and in this video, we are going to cover what are different tools which organization uses when it is trying to communicate about its product to the potential consumers. That is, what are the different elements of promotional mix. Now, before we start, we have to understand basically what are the broad elements of a promotion mix. So when we talk about promotion can happen in two ways. First, it could happen above the line or it could happen below the line. So when we talk about promotional tools having above the line items, basically we are talking about when you communicate, when the manufacturer communicate to a larger audience base. So in above the line, you employ means like print media or broadcast media. That is, you do not care who is listening to your message as long as it is reaching to a mass audience. But when we talk about below the line promotional mix, so basically we are talking about when you target a very specific segment of your customers. That is, you employ very targeted approach to promote your product. So, ITL and BTL, they are the core component or they are the core category of a promotional mix. All your promotional tools, they are centered around either they will have a very broad approach or they will have a very targeted approach. Lately, we have been seeing that the companies are shifting from above the line to the below the line because above the lines are usually very costly because you have to employ means which will reach to a larger base. Below the line items, because they are very targeted, so they are cheaper to employ. So, traditionally speaking, there are four fundamental elements of a promotional mix, or you can simply say there are four methods which the company used to advertise or company used to uh, aware the customer about its product. So, these promotional mix were advertising, sales promotion, public relation, and personal selling. But if you read modern day marketing gurus, you will find that they have defined the promotional mix into eight categories. That is, you have advertising, sales promotion, but then you have events and experience. Then you have public relation and publicity. You have direct marketing. You have interactive marketing because of the advent of the internet. You have word of mouth marketing. Word of mouth marketing has been there for a very long time. Then you have personal selling. If we combine the traditional four and the new four method and the new eight methods of marketing or promotional tools, you will find that you can broadly categorize them into five categories. That is advertising and word of mouth, sales promotion, public relation and sponsorship, direct marketing, online marketing, and personal selling. In this video, we are going to cover all of them one by one. So let's start. So first of all, you have advertising. So what is advertising? Basically, if you read the definition provided by the American Marketing Association, so they give four elements to advertising. So first element is this advertising, a promotional tool of advertising is a paid promotion. That is, you advertise your product by giving somebody the money. Then it is non-personal. That is, it is above the line because you target a larger base of audience rather than targeting a selected group. Then the marketing through advertising has to be through an identifiable source. That is the medium you choose for advertising. That medium has to be a recognizable source. You cannot employ a medium who itself is unknown to the public. And finally, you have to advertise about an idea or a good or a service. That is, there has to be an object of your advertising. But lately, there is two more elements added to the definition of advertising. First and foremost, that advertising has to be persuasive in nature. Now, in the last session, when we were discussing the promotional mix, we understood that in a promotional mix, awareing your customer about spreading awareness about your product to the customer is not enough. At the end of the day, you want the customer to buy your product. So therefore, the persuasiveness in the advertisement has to be there. And second, the medium, that is the platform or the channel you are using to deliver the message, which has to be a recognizable source, which has to be an identifiable source. So after advertisement, we have word of mouth. Word of mouth communication has been one of the most long-standing form of communication on our promotional mix. Now, in word of mouth, basically there are people who are already using your product. So these are your existing customer, and these existing customer, if they are satisfied from your product, they will communicate to the potential customers. The people who are already using your product, they have to be opinion leaders. They have to be influencers. Now, influencer is a word you might have been hearing from the last 5-10 years, when the internet had reached to that even the remotest level. So a lot of influencers are coming up. Those influencers, they actually use the product for themselves, and then they tell you about the product. That is, they're influencing you about the uses of the product. Now, when a company launches a new product, the people who are unaware of the product, they need somebody to tell them the good things and the bad things about the product. So this word of mouth communication is helpful when the company is launching a new product, or the existing product needs some kind of reinforcement. So maybe the company has improved their already existing product. That improvement has to be communicated to the customer, because at this point of time the customer is only familiar with your old product. They are not familiar with the improved version of the old product. So this is where influencers or the opinion leader comes in. Now, how does a company can use this word of mouth communication? Because you might think that in word of mouth communication, the company may not have any role to play, but a company can inculcate these opinion leaders. The company can take the help of these influencers. They can come and they can orient themselves, they can orient the influencers about their product. And then these influencers can go and tell about the people about the changes in the product. Then after advertisement, we have sales promotion. Now, sales promotion, very often the sales promotion is confused with the advertising itself. But what basically sales promotion is, in a short period of time, that is in a limited period of time, the company wants to increase the sale. Now, how does that happen? How does a company influence a customer to buy the same product more, but in a shorter period of time? So, sales promotion is all about adding value to your product. So therefore, you usually find when during the festive season, a lot of companies, they come out with discount. A lot of company come out with offers. A lot of company come out with gift. That is, if you buy your product today, you are also going to get this extra benefit. Those extra benefit could be in the form of discount, or those could be value addition. Buy one get one. You must hear this scheme a lot. Buy one get one. But sales promotion should not be confused with advertising or personal selling or public relationship. Sales promotion is a promotional tool on its own standing. Yes, you can use advertisement. You can use advertisement to tell the customer about the sales promotion campaign which is going on right now. But again, sales promotion is a promotional tool in its own merit. So basically, why does sales promotion work? Because when you are adding value to the product at the same price, the customer look at this as a additional benefit. So customer think that, okay, I am already paying the same amount I was paying before, but now I'm getting more value on the product. So maybe I'm getting a discount on the product. So product is the same, but now I'm getting it at a cheaper price because of some discount. Or if it's a buy one get one offer, so the customer think that I am paying the same, I'm paying the amount for only one product, but in return I am getting two products. Then the dealers and the distributors, they also benefit through the boostation because their inventory gets clear more easily or more quickly than before. So the more quickly the inventory gets clear, more product they can buy, more recent product they can buy. And more importantly, by giving sales promotion or by coming out with new unique ways of sales promotion, the manufacturer can also shift brand loyalty more effectively. That is, if the customer feels that, okay, this brand comes out with new sales campaign almost periodically, then the customer will be more inclined to buy your product as compared to your competitors. And finally, if you look at the definition given by McDonald and Wilson, you will find that sales promotion is a non-face-to-face activity. Why non-face-to-face? Because the discount will be given to anybody who comes into the shop. And then it involves a featured offer target a specific customer within a set of time. That is the customer who will approach a company, the customer who will approach a shop. Only those customers will be offered a discount, and that discount is available only a limited period of time. So, for example, right now, I'm sure you're aware that the Christmas and the New Year are around the corner. So, a lot of companies will come out with schemes that are targeted toward this particular period of time. Right now, we have seen that Black Friday sale going on. Those Black Friday sales is nothing but a sales promotion tool to increase the sale in this limited period of time. After sales promotion, our next technique or next tool of sales promotion is public relation and sponsorship. So let's look at public relationship. Now, public relationship is a basically you can define it as a tool where company is directly dealing with the public at large. See, the word is public relationship, not consumer relationship. So when we talk about public relationship, the company is trying to find out what is the attitude of the public right now. So right now, for example, the people are very environmental conscious. So you will find the companies which are using sustainable means. The companies, they have also started to inculcate the sustainability into their production model. So they will advertise about that to the public. Why? The company does not need to do that, but it is the public which is getting very environmental conscious. So the company is also getting environmental conscious because it wants that the public should relate to the company. The public should feel a sort of attachment with the company. There should be a relationship building with the company. So when we talk about PR, it is about creating a mutual understanding between the marketer, that is the manufacturer, and the target. If both of them are environmental conscious, then your potential consumer will feel a sort of relationship with you. Then it is essential for building and maintaining a positive public image among the stakeholders. So the people who are interested in buying your product, not only your customer, your potential customer, your investor, the government, all the stakeholders in your company, you want that your public image in their eyes should be good. Your public image should be such that the consumer does not feel any sort of pressure to avoid that linkage from you. Then you can use a lot of tools to build that public relationship. You can advertise about the sustainable methods you are employing. You can advertise about your open work culture. You can advertise about your inclusive work culture. You can publish your annual report so that anybody can read your annual reports. Anybody can look at your financial data. You can print brochures, event sponsorship, social initiative. All these methods are nothing but a way to build a relationship with the public at large, because the consumer of a manufacturer or a marketer comes from this public only. So you want to create a good image in the eyes of the public. Now, finally, now this PR, public relationship, is a very broad discipline. It involves communication skill, that how well you are in communicating with the public at large. Now, you communicate either through a broadcast or published media. Again, this public relationship is a above the line item. That is, you want everyone to know. You want the entire general public to know about your initiative. Now, after public relationship, we have sponsorship. Now, sponsorship is again like you are supporting any activity. It is again a very old form. The kings used to sponsor the traders, that okay, you go to this particular kingdom and you sell your product, and if somebody asks you, tell them I have sent you. Now, this is nothing but a sponsorship. That is, you are supporting in some form of some manner. It could be a financial support or it could be an in-kind support. So, for example, I can build you a market. I can organize a marketing event for you. And in that marketing event, it will be written sponsored by such and such company. So whenever you support a individual or a institution or a event, that is called sponsorship. Now, basically, the aim of sponsorship is to gain commercial advantages. So, for example, if you have organized, let's say, a blood donation camp, so it will be written in the in a very when you sponsor that event, so that event will openly advertise that this blood donation camp has been organized by such and such company. So this is good for the visibility. You will be more visible. It will create your goodwill in the market, and the people will associate your brand to that goodwill. And then finally, the sponsor is the individual who is supporting the event, and sponsor is the person who is being supported. Now, after public relations and sponsorship, we have direct marketing and online marketing. Now, more often than not, this direct marketing is referred to as when you suppose say send coupon to somebody, that is through direct mail. But it is much broader than that. It is not a selling method, it is not a distribution channel, or it is nothing that has to do with direct mail. So therefore, the alternative name can also be given to direct marketing. Okay, it is a dialogue marketing, it's a relationship marketing, it's a database marketing. That is, you are building a relationship with a set target group, because you only want to target your product to those specific customers. So, for example, you visit to any mall. In that mall, you are going to any shop which is selling you skincare item. Now, in around that shop, there will be a lot of companies which will only target you. That is, when you leave the shop, those people will approach you to sell their product. That is nothing but direct marketing, because you want to build a relationship with the customer, and that customer is not broad. That customer is a very targeted customer. So the core idea behind direct marketing is to inculcate with the customer, which is very directly related to your need, the need of the marketer. So you aim at a very custom tailored marketing so that you can build a long term relationship. So you are in continuously contact with those customers. You are continuously asking their opinion, that how do they like your product, what are the changes they would like in your product. So this is the basic idea of direct marketing. Now there are a lot of ways you can do direct marketing. You can either through direct mail or telephone or through internet. Now the again, and when you seek immediate and measurable response, that is, if you find that the okay people, after listening to your sales pitch, they are giving you an order, or they are requesting further information, or they are visiting store, your website or business location, that is when you know that direct marketing is working. So the feedback in the direct marketing mechanism, in the promotional tool of direct marketing, is also very quick, because you see the immediate result of it happening. If the customer seems interested, then how will he show that interest? Now either he will buy your product immediately, or he will ask you for more information, or he will ask, okay, where are you located, or what is the business address I can go to, or what is your online address where I can go and check out your products. So therefore, direct marketing is targeted to a customer. The idea is to tailor make the advertisement to a targeted group, build a long relationship with that group, so that at the end of the day, those potential customers becomes your consumer. Then you have online marketing. Now I'm sure all of you know what online marketing is, because the internet is now have a very deep setting in our culture. So every now and then we are ordering something online. Now the thing is, whenever you search online for any product, suppose you search for a speaker. Now the next time you visit to any website, you will find a lot of ads which are very targeted towards speaker ads. Now this is what online marketing is. That is when the marketers, they leave the physical space and they go to the online space. So how do you define online marketing? It is a business interaction where parties communicate electronically rather than through physical contact. So rather than receiving those coupons in mail, you will receive coupons through your emails. So you create and transform and enhance business relationship. You can reach a very larger base of audience, because if you are sending the coupon through mail, in that case you cannot send a lot of people, you can only target a specific pin code. But when you are only have to send them an email of coupon, in that case you can reach a larger audience. So the use of electronic communication and digital information can be used to create, transform and enhance business relationship, and generate value between the organization and between the organization and the individuals. And then online marketing is a digital execution of marketing activities. That is, whatever you are doing in the direct marketing or any other marketing approach, now you are doing it electronically. You reach out to the consumer electronically, you engage with the consumer, you ask them to fill out a survey. I'm sure many of the times when you order something online, once you have done the payment, they definitely ask you to give a feedback. Now that feedback is nothing but a part of online marketing. The final promotional tool is personal selling. Now again, personal selling and direct marketing are confused a lot of time, but this personal selling has one of the main important tool of promotional mix. I'm sure whenever you have visited to, let's say, any car dealership, immediately when you enter the showroom, a person will walk up to you and he will help you he will assist you to find the best car possible. So therefore there's a two-way communication between the seller and the customer. This happens to be personal selling. That is, when you visit a shop, immediately a person from that shop will come to you, and then he will strike a conversation with you. If it is a car, he will ask you what type of car you're looking for. He will show you different model. He will ask you the budget. He will ask you the color you like. He will ask you the features you want in a car. So this personal selling, they aim to persuade the customer using information, clarification, and interaction. So that person who is selling you the car, he will tell you all about the car. He will tell you the good things about the car. He will tell you how you can use this car to fulfill your purposes. And then he will often try to upsell you. That is, he will ask you that, okay, if you have this much budget, then you should buy this car, or you should buy this variant of the car. Then finally, it occurs in the exchange situation. Why exchange situation? Because it's a two-way communication where the salesperson is directly trying to influence your buying decision. Now, this was all about personal selling, and with this, we have finished up our all the tools of promotional mix. I hope you like this video. If you did, please like, share, subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching.